Good evening, everyone, and thanks for being here with us today at the Keen Lyricist Quest Creativity Seminar Lyrics Writing in English. My name is Harmony Yun, and I'm an MPhil candidate at Comparative Literature. My thesis actually looks at Cantopop, but Cantopop in the 2000s, so that's for another time. And we have with us here two guests, Ghost Style, who goes by Brandon, and Jing Wong, whom we will introduce to you in a bit, but let's welcome them with a warm applause. To start us off, I wanted to say something about this whole series of events organized by the General Education team of CDARS called the Keen Lyricist Quest. The program consists of seminars like the one today, workshops, a competition, as well as a final showcase. These events aim to encourage students' interest and appreciation of lyrics writing in both Chinese and English. Following the session on Chinese lyrics last week, we have invited two guest speakers to share with you their experience of lyrics writing in English. To start us off, I have with me a brief introduction, a bio of the two of you. So next to me, Ghost Style Brandon is a rapper and producer who made the first English rap album in Hong Kong titled Message is Complete. He is also a member of the hip-hop supergroup 24 Herbs. He mainly works as an indie artist, going by the name Brandon Ho, and he has just released a chilled acoustic album titled One. And Jing Wong, over there, graduated as a theater designer and director at Central St. Martin's. He has released a total of 7 albums and EPs, and has participated in music festivals locally and overseas. He has also created a one-man music theater show called A Spy in the House of Love. And most recently, Jing has started working on his PhD at the City University to look at interactive and immersive theater performances inspired by video and board games. So before we jump right into lyrics writing, both of you have chosen a few songs of your choice as an icebreaker, some pieces of work from singer-songwriters or rappers that have inspired you on creativity. Who wants to start first? Brandon?
All right, so hi everyone. How you doing? Good. So are you all aspiring lyricists? Yes? Okay. I guess writing in Chinese and English, right? Maybe. So, but I write in English for a long time. I guess it's because I don't know, writing for me was something that I always did. So instead of writing, essays and takes a long time to write, music was a way to just shortcut and just express what you want to say in shorter words. So it was easier for me because I'm kind of lazy. So that's why. So I took the music path. So yeah. So 2 songs that I have for you, or is it?
Yeah, you chose Let It Be by the Beatles.
Okay, so first was we were asked to choose some songwriters or lyrics that we think is really nice. So I chose the Beatles because I think Beatles has Paul McCartney, John Lennon, and both of them combined wrote some amazing songs. Their music is still listened to today. It spawned so many family trees of, acoustic, of rock, of all types of music. So, Let It Be, yeah. So you could actually choose any kind of Beatles song, and you'll find a lot of interesting stuff. But I think for songwriting and lyrics, it's not exact. I think it's just people when they listen to it, they will, for me when I listen to music, the song, I will capture the feeling, it'll make me feel some way. So whether that's mostly it's the music, but there's some words in the music, just specific words can really maybe touch me, touch and say, oh damn, right? But I don't have to listen to I won't understand maybe the whole song, what they're saying or whatever, but I would somehow a few words simple words would just trigger my emotion and things like this. So in a song like Let It Be, I mean, just those 3 words, you know, when you're upset, when you're going through struggles, just let it be. And it's like, damn, all right, I'm done, you know, like, you know, problem solved, let's go, like, you know. So, and a lot of the time for lyrics, I think the most important thing is capturing the chorus part, or like the hook. So it's just that, it's what people remember. I mean, you think about your favorite song, what is, you know, you can name the title, and usually the title is the hook, and that's all pretty much you can remember. I mean, yes, you know, you do remember the whole song, you could sing along, but usually it was because of the hook that captured your, you know, your attention, that touched you in some way, you know, so.
Yeah. Shall we listen to an excerpt from the song?
Oh yeah, you could listen to a bit of it. You guys all heard Let It Be, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, very repetitive but powerful, like the hook of it.
Yeah, obviously, the music is also quite simple and powerful as well. So combine that with, you know, simple. You know, I think with lyrics, you don't want to go too complicated with it, unless that's the musical style. But most, I guess I would say most pop song, most genre of music, the lyrics are super simple, super catchy. So they can, you know, really spark your imagination or spark a feeling inside the listener, right? And I think that's also, okay, when they're writing from a perspective of somebody or themselves, you know? So a lot of the time, pop song would deal with, you know, the darker sides of life, right? You know, you're angry, you're upset, you're you know, depressed and stuff like this. I mean, that's mainly pop song, but it could be anything actually, you know.
Brandon, what you're saying reminds me of a conversation I had with MC Yan. Do you guys know MC Yan? LMF, MC Yan. And we were talking about what writing a song is about. And he said, it's about writing slogans. And when you were describing how the chorus should be simple, easy to remember, it's basically, I think he summed it up really well. Writing slogans.
Yeah.
And Beatles does it extremely well.
Yeah.
All the hooks becomes the name of the song, and when you remember the hook, you remember the name, or if you remember the name, you remember how it goes, how the melody goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, so, you know, it's just, and, you know, slogans, like, whatever, to try to rally people together, or, like, you know, open people's minds, or touch people. I mean, it's all about, yeah, using the words to connect, you know, and you know, connect into something very, the human emotion part. I think that's what music and lyrics do, yeah, as well.
Yeah, and I think that ties in really well with Jing's choice too. Hallelujah.
Oh,
Do you
yeah.
want to say something about it?
Yeah, do you guys know Leonard Cohen? He's one of the best, if not the best, lyricist or poet of all times. He's my favorite word guy. I don't know how to describe him. He's a word god. Obviously, he has a lot of biblical references, but we don't have to see it that way, because once the words left his hands or his mouth, it becomes ours when reinterpreted. And this song, to me, could be a downfall of a guy, but somehow, because of faith, or somehow he just, the Alleluia kind of saved him. It could be music saved him. It could be interpreted that way, or you can just interpret it as a very sexual song. It's there's a lot of really sexual moments. She broke your throne, and she cut your hair, and from your lips she drew the Alleluia. It's the sex act. I mean, wow. I mean, but how can you write a sexual act so poetically? I mean, the images. This song is simple. It has what we were talking about in the chorus. It has the slogan, Alleluia. But in a way, Alleluia is not Alleluia anymore. It's kind of reinterpreted in this song. Obviously, you can see it strictly from a biblical reference, kind of the King David, and the baffled king is also David, and from what I've read, there's also a different reference in the second verse of two different characters in the Bible. But we don't have to go into there because that's not what I read when I first listened to the song. But what I think is the most amazing with the lyrics and the structure and the melody of the song is in the first verse when it goes like this: the fourth, the fifth, the minor fall, the major lift. And this is exactly what the song is doing in that moment, the chords. Usually it's like a C major going to the 6th A minor, and then going to the fourth, the major fourth, and the fifth. I mean, like how he describes the chords is exactly how the melody and the chord is going. And it's the perfect marriage of the words and the melody. It's so together. Mm-hmm. And when you listen to the song, you will hear the ups and downs, the minor fall, the major lift. It's crazy.
Yeah, I wanted to just add, if I could, like I really love this song too. So we were talking before, like we both like cover this song.
Yes,
yes.
We
love playing it on guitar.
Yep.
At home alone, in my pajamas and whatever. So, but the thing about Hallelujah here, when you brought it up, is that the way he writes it, he introduces you. He brings the listener in softly with like, it seems innocent, like, I'm just playing a chord. We're talking about the Lord and playing the chord, and then talking about the music. And then suddenly he goes into the sexual stuff. And then he goes into even deeper talking about how he's feeling. And then finally the conclusion is, the whole, how he, expresses this song and, his feelings towards, maybe it was, like you said, like some love interest or whatever. So it's, in his way, in a poetic way, he's also sort of like a storyteller, right?
Yes,
like,
totally.
I think a lot of his songs is also like built on story.
Actually, that's how I would, that's the word I would use to describe myself, a storyteller, more than a lyricist or a songwriter, because I like how, the songs I like are usually very like story narrative driven, with characters,
Right, why don't we also play an excerpt so the audience know how it actually rolls off the tongue so beautifully.
Have you guys heard of the Jeff Buckley version of this song? That version actually made the song famous, not because of the original version. That rendition is crazy good. Yeah.
Jeff, if you have a chance, you can listen to the Jeff Buckley version of that song.
Yeah.
And he also plays guitar. He was a virtuoso blues guitarist guy. So he put a lot of like blues and mood into this song. Yeah.
You already mentioned something about how you'd actually identify more of a storyteller rather than a lyricist. Why don't both of you also say more about yourself and your recent project? What have you been working on? What's on the horizon for you?
Okay. Well, I was actually, my background was in theater. I went to St. Martin's to do theater design, and then I went to Central School of Speech and Drama to do a theater directing master's. And so when I approach music, or when I was approaching fashion with my sister, we did a brand, a fashion label. We were always trying to tell stories, but I used different mediums to tell stories. And recently I'm doing a PhD in interactive storytelling, because I think the way stories are told is changing a lot and quickly. Because, for example, a lot of people are playing video games these days, and video games becomes a really popular platform for interactive, emergent narratives to happen. And often the author or the role of the author is changing a lot. We don't have the power of God anymore. We don't have total control over how the story develops, because the players The players can decide, I don't want to take this mission. I want to go over here to talk to this guy, and I don't care if I win the game or not. Or I can just walk around the landscape and explore the open world in this, the world of a medieval fantasy game. So in a way, the players become co-authors. And that's where I'm going, anyway. So that's what I'm researching right now.
Brandon?
So, I don't know. I've been doing, I just finished like my own sort of bedroom acoustic album that I just released on the whim. And most of the time when I write music, it's just like when you're writing songs, you have to, one of the foundational things that I had some good English teachers when I was at school. So, one of the foundational pieces is that, you should just write what you know, or what you observe or what you're feeling. And I think if you use in a musical format, about feelings or what it blends together quite well, So you could even, take a sheet of paper at home and then you could just write, words to get like as a poetry, and then find, a piece of music that kind of matches that, So there's all types of ways that you can write lyrics and stuff. And I think, ultimately, I think for me, when we were writing music, it's just like, okay, when you're writing songs, like acoustic songs or like emotional songs, obviously we're talking about feelings, we're talking about personal experiences and stuff. But when we're doing like rap songs, they're mostly like party songs, or else they're like conscious rap songs, which means social issues of right now, of what's going on, just stuff that's happening in our time, But whereas, but then again, so when I write songs, I'll try to make them evergreen. So when we say evergreen means like let's say Let It Be or Hallelujah, like those were made in the, I don't know, 1970s, 60s, 80s.
Was Hallelujah, and Let It Be was 60s.
Yeah, I mean, it's been almost 40 years, but these songs are on YouTube. They're just everywhere for everybody. So they're evergreen, right? Like people could enjoy them even now, if you're like a music listener and stuff. So as a lyricist, you want to, I don't know, maybe if you could, you would like to write evergreen lyrics, so your songs can be listened to 50 years from now, or like and it's coming fast, and 50 years comes fast, so it's not a long time. So you could write evergreen songs with your lyrics. If you're doing rap music, I mean, you're talking about time, basically. Like you're like a newspaper, you're like a radio, like the news at night, telling what's up, what happened today, what happened yesterday, what's happening now, and bringing in today's vibe into the listener's mind. Yeah. So.
Right. And so I wonder why you enjoy writing lyrics so much, especially in English.
Well, actually, because I started music when I was like 13. And I guess it was because I was kind of like a delinquent kid, like a rebel kind of person, and I couldn't do anything that anybody tells me. So I think music was a way that I got the attention I wanted. I got the respect I wanted. I got a lot of things from just writing lyrics, being music, and so. In a way, it's kind of something that I do. And even now, I still do, but not for the attention, but just for like, I mean, sometimes for the attention, it depends, like, I'll write a song for people, but I think it's because I realize like, it's something that I can express. It helps, because sometimes maybe I can't express myself to somebody in a very like conversational way. So I just put that in the music instead, or like, art or anything creative, like any type of creative outlet. I could, like, let's say I have some type of emotions. I don't even understand myself sometimes, so I just let it out in the music. And then it just stays there, passes on, and I feel better. Like I feel like something has been released, and, I feel good, and Like,
Right. It's what performance is all about, isn't it? Right. The attention and the expression,
Yeah.
articulation. Is it the same for you, Jim?
Very similar, a lot of overlaps. I guess people often use the phrase music saved me. And I think it's very true, not just for listeners, but I mean for the writer himself or herself. Often it's the writer is going through like troubled times, either depressed or unhappy or extremely happy, whatever reason. There's an emotion and you need to express it. And if you don't express it, you don't know what to do. And there's a natural urge. And you need to find like what ticks, like for you, what makes you want to write. You need that things. When I was younger, there was a time when I thought, oh, writing songs seems cool. Calling myself a singer-songwriter is cool. But when I was very young, I don't know what to write about. And when I grew slightly older, have a little more experience, have my share of tragedy or whatever, then it just came. It comes naturally. There's something to write about. It's also, I mean, it's a blessing and a curse. I mean, I was brought up in a very I have a good family, and don't have to worry about a lot of things, and I'm blessed in that way. But if you are a creative person, if you want to write about something, it's a blessing that you have tragedies. It's actually very important. So if you have tragedies, congratulations! Yeah.
oh, I see some tragedies here.
I think we all do.
Yeah.
I think we all do after several years.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like you could tap into those things. Like that was a lot of my teenage years. Just tap into the anger, or like blues or moody stuff, and I'm the coolest guy in the world, even though I'm like the moodiest person. Like, but no, that fueled a lot of the songs when I was a kid. But I think now, what happens is that all that kind of desire for like kid stuff, like desire for attention and all this. But now we're doing it. What I do now with the music is just a daily practice. Like, I would just pick up the guitar, da 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 da, and then maybe write a little few lyrics here and there in a book or something, and I just leave it. Just like maybe half an hour even, or whatever. But do it every day, and then slowly you could, when the time comes when you say, oh, I have this cool music, I have this cool sound now.
So disciplined.
Yeah.
I'm totally the opposite.
Actually, it's just because, like I said, I think it's just because I'm lazy that
it doesn't sound like that.
No, because a little bit disciplined in the fact that I kind of make myself do it every day, but I just do very little. Like, I'm just like, I pick up the pen, okay, a few words there. I'm done. I'm happy now, and I can just go do whatever I want to do afterwards. But I kind of put that as a priority. I guess that's what it, like, I put the music as a priority, or like my creativity as a priority. So first thing I do is just get that all done for my day, and then I'm free to do whatever I want in my day. So if you have a lyric book, or if you have like a journal or something, I mean, a lot of writers will have journals. They'll have, or you're on your phone or whatever. Like, just keep writing words, and then slowly you can look back at it and say, oh, this word plus this word, and you start puzzling it together, and then maybe some good lyrics will come out of that.
I love hearing about other people's creative processes, because we don't get to listen to this a lot. It's really, I mean, we're so fortunate to be listening to, like, well, not
sharing,
just me, or like we're all sharing our creative ways and methods. I don't do it that way, but I come up with a deadline always. And for example, I'm getting these fundings. I wrote proposals to the government, and I have a project. I have a music theater show. I have to come up with a new album, around 8 to 10 songs, and then that's the deal, right? I have to come up with an album. So I start writing songs every day, and I try to come up with the best things. And because of the deadline, I do what you're doing. So, okay, every day I have to work on it.
Yeah.
But not as a normal habit thing.
Oh, yeah.
I kind of came up with a theme or something. For example, my last album was about home, and the album is called On Departure, and it was released last year. Obviously, everything around us, surrounding us, will become our inspiration. And a lot of my friends have left Hong Kong, going to different places. And obviously, the topic of home, or what is, or the definition of home, became a very relevant inspiration. And so I was thinking about this all the time, and I wrote all the songs related to this topic. And then the deadline helped me, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you wrote home, I wrote one.
Uh-huh.
And one is kind of, just kind of complete. Like I'm always after this kind of completeness thing. And, it took me the whole process, because I do it organically, so I don't do the deadline. So I just do it organically. So if I just, it took me about a year and over a year, because I first came up with the guitar. I had to relearn back the acoustic guitar because I haven't picked it up in like 10 years. Because I've been rapping for like 10 years. So then I picked up the guitar again and, got back feel to it and just enjoyed the process. Like I just enjoy the music making process and enjoy writing, because when you write for yourself or you write, like basically that album's just for myself. So when you write about it, you're looking into yourself, and it's kind of, it's freaky, yeah. But, it's a good experience to know more about what's inside yourself. And I think writing lyrics and doing music, or anything creative for that matter, can help in that process. And I think people need that process, or else if you don't know yourself, and you're in the world, it's you're just it's better to know yourself in the world. Yeah.
It sounds like it's either regular discipline or with a deadline. That's how we all get to produce
extremes,
something,
right?
right?
No, okay, I mean, like with 24 Herbs, because they're more
Right.
on the commercial side.
Sure.
So in the beginning, we had deadlines because we had like, we have managers. We have like companies that are like, hey, where's the album? Where's the album? Like, hurry up, and then they push you to do it. And then, but I mean, they're not pushing us because we don't like being pushed, or like we don't like being pushed. The more you push us, the more we're not going to do it. And then it just becomes this big battle of like, ego, just like, I don't even do music no more. What are you talking about? Like, so, but yeah, deadlines are important. Like if, for some things, if you have a great, everybody's collaborative, or you're ready for that, and you're targeted right, and you plan it all right, I think deadlines are something.
I think it's also how you define yourself. I mean, you can be a very artist type of a songwriter, where you only create songs that mean something to you, which was how I started. I mean, my first several albums was all super personal. Every song is a memory, and but it's slowly. I mean, probably because I don't know what to write anymore sometimes, or sometimes I just got stuck. But there is something I care about. Maybe it's not about me, and maybe I just grew older, so I don't care about myself so much anymore. So, there's a topic. This is something I care about. Okay, let's write about this topic, and then it became a very. In a way, it became more disciplined. But it's also, I was trying to define if you're working commercially, you're probably a songsmith. So you're a smith. You're basically, it's a craft. So you can churn out a song in half an hour if needed, because they want the song right now, tonight. Okay, I have 30 minutes. I have to come up with something. Even if it's not the best version, you have to come up with something to convince them you're working on it. Then you have to do it. But then that's like professionalism, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine too. Actually, now that you think, like, let's say some people get me to feature for raps, or they ask me to write choruses or some lyrics, and they'll just call me up like, hey, we got this song, can you do that? And I'm like, yeah, okay, cool. It's like, tomorrow, we need it tomorrow. Like, what? So so then of course I charge him a little bit more than if I can, you know what I mean? But but then it actually sometimes it doesn't really matter the length of time. It's just that moment when you just have to be super focused, and then you can just get it done. I mean, if the deadline says it's tomorrow, then there's no changing that, right? You have to do it for tomorrow, or if they say the deadline you have 2 years to do it, I mean, then you're gonna take 2 years to do it, right?
Yeah. So writing for yourself and writing as a job is very different.
Yeah. So and you could do both. I think it's important to do both, because you do the personal stuff is for your practice in like
or salvation.
Just in release for yourself, right? If you're an artist, right? And then also on the commercial side, hey, you could be cool and you could write about many different topics. You can blend all this stuff together to make good lyrics, you know. So works both ways. Depends on you guys, like the person, really.
The way you so precisely describes it, the artist and the songsmith, I think it's really interesting. And I guess some of us in the audience would also be interested in hearing from you more about writing in English. So while I was preparing for moderating this, I was also thinking, like, I'm under the impression that Cantopop fans, generally they care a lot about the lyrics, right? We love doing the analysis, even in a secondary school setting in Chinese classes. But I'm under the impression maybe in the Western musical world, sometimes we would enjoy the vibe of the song a little bit more, the arrangement of it, rather than really close reading the lyrics line by line. Is that also your impression as well? Like, how do Hong Kong or Hong Kong-based singer-songwriters differ from those from, say, Europe or from US contexts?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I'm not sure, because I haven't really like come in contact with that, like the different writers. But I'm sure writers around the world have similar challenges to go through and things to think about when they write the songs, right? I think what I find is like Cantonese, like Cantopop, because of like karaoke and you have karaoke, so a lot of the Cantopop, I think, in the beginning was written for karaoke, so they put in this kind of unwritten rule that all the words have to be like very clear and precise, like ho ching chao, right? So it's like,
and there need to be like challenges in the song, so that they can show off their singing skills, like sam lim yam yan sam lim yam or something like that.
Yeah.
And then you sing key, you know.
Yeah. So it's they're appreciating Cantopop in a different way, like they're trying to like you're saying, like how do they say the words, how they do the yum or whatever like that, right? But I guess Western
do the yum.
Like
love that.
Like like that's in Western, I guess, is like more vibes. But of course, there's many scholars that go into people's lyrics and dissect it with psychology and.
But I do agree with you, actually. I mean, I do think that it's a different cultural habit, and I think it's also because in Hong Kong, the music part and the lyrics part is often separated, written by different people. And it's also because of the limitation of Cantonese. It's so hard to write that usually the person who writes the music it cannot write the lyrics themselves, because what it requires is not a normal level of Cantonese speaking. I mean, every note, every word sounds wrong if you don't place it in the right tone, and that creates such a huge hurdle for songwriters. But in English, anyone who can speak English, who can talk, can write lyrics, because the notes don't matter so much like Cantonese does. So you can,
Right. That was something addressed in last week's session too, I think, with the Chinese lyricist. I remember Siu Hak was like, he can't even read the Ganpo, like the simplified version of the music, while another lyricist, Chen Wenhim, he was a musician himself.
Yeah.
He's also a vocalist, so he's able to know how these melodies would turn out when they're sung aloud. So that's pretty interesting. But on the audience side of things, when your music is consumed or listened to by, say, Hong Kong-based audience, would that be something you think about as well when you write in English, but it's consumed by, a majority of Cantonese speakers or, Hong Kongers who understand English?
Actually, when I'm more like the artist, like.
Right, not the songsmith.
Yeah, I think, especially with the English, because I will just, with whoever let's say I'm collaborating with somebody or, with my group or with my band. So it's I don't take in consideration what's going on outside of that moment happening now. So I just complete whatever I need to complete at that. And then when the song comes out, I just let it go wherever it needs to go. Like, I don't really think about it after it's done, kind of thing. But lately before I would never, I just write my lyrics once and then just do it. But now I would just take a little bit more time to double check and then see if those are the words that I really want to express, or if I can change the lyrics. Yeah, but I don't know. I guess like a lot of Hong Kong audience probably prefer Cantonese. That's what I would say.
Yeah, it's a fact. It's a fact. But I think when we write English lyrics in Hong Kong, it doesn't really matter anymore, because the people who would listen to you, they would understand, and the people who wouldn't listen to you would not listen to you. So I try to win them over through live performances. So a lot of my songs are written from the context of a live show. And some of the lyrics, when I wrote it, I was writing with interaction in mind. One of the songs that I was about to share today is designed that way. It's about men and women. It could be men or men, like just a couple. A couple has arguments and misunderstands each other all the time. And then what they say becomes just like blah, blah, blah. Could be anything, and it's just noises, white noise. So the guy is saying, na 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 na. You can't hear what he's talking about, but you don't care. And the girl says, na 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 na. And maybe if they can sing together, na 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 na. So this in a live context, I was thinking, okay, so obviously, people on the right sing na 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 na. Okay, your turn. No 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 no. Okay, so can we try this? Can we try this? Let's try this. Let's try this. It's A Spy in the House of Love. Okay. And this song, as I was telling you about, some reverb. Where's the reverb? So a couple is having an argument. And the guy and the girl does not listen to each other. Okay, how many guys are there? Very little. Okay, so I'll just divide it into two groups. So I need the left side. Can you help me? Can you help me? Just sing a really simple melody, and it goes like this. Na 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 na. Okay, your turn. How does it go? Na 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 na. Very good. And then the girl says, na 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 na. Okay, your turn over here. Na 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 But actually, they can solve this by singing together the part which goes na 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 na. No, you don't really love her. You just love the idea of her. Everything she says is gold. Before your love turns cold. In fact, you're just a spy. A spy in the house of love. Everything is a pretense. Why can't you give romance a chance? And every kiss is a bliss you can casually dismiss. Every love you've made, every love you have betrayed. Don't you miss all of this when you stand by the abyss, feeling all alone without one to feel at home? Okay, I need your help now. What does the guy say? Na 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 na, and you say na 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 na, and the guy says na 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 na, and the girl says na 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 na, and everybody sings na 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 na. Na 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 na. So that's the design for this interaction part. Thank you.
That's very beautiful performance. Do you want to say something more about the song?
Oh, the lyrics are here. Very good. It's inspired by a novel. It's exactly A Spy in House of Love. That's the name I stole from the novel. But the novel writer did not write a song, so I just stole the name from it. But it's a great book. Lots of like deception and love, passion between lovers. I mean, well, obviously, like the normal stuff. But I mean, he wrote it in a very poetic way, just the way he describes lovers, spy in House of Love. And I try to put that feeling or to crystallize that kind of, 哇，點形容呢喂?
Now, is it like it's like inspired from the novel?
Well,
or just the title?
Just the title.
Okay.
And then it's about relationships in general.
Yeah.
It doesn't even have to be a guy-girl. It could be guy, girl, or anything. But people just misunderstand each other a lot, and you don't listen to each other a lot. And I feel this a lot as I grow older and have more relationships, and you have these regrets sometimes. You wish you didn't say something, or you wish you said something. But this song, I try to use a different perspective. A lot of times, singer-songwriters will use first person, I something. Damien Rice does that a lot. Well, the song I was hoping to play if we have time, but we probably won't have enough time. That song, like he uses I. But at this song, I'm using an objective perspective to write it. And I'm commenting on this person, who doesn't have to be anyone at all. But no, you don't really love her. That's the first sentence. Oh, and this is something I learned from one of my favorite songwriter, poet, rock queen, which is Patti Smith. Patti Smith is amazing. her song Gloria wasn't even originally a song written by her. It's someone else's song, but she added so much of her own poetic twist into it, and so many references and her own words. It became her song, and I don't even know who the original writer of Gloria is, and it doesn't matter. In that song, the first line was so catchy. Before that line, I don't even know who Patti Smith is, but after the line, I fell in love with her already. And it's, Jesus died for somebody's sins, but not mine. And like, wow, mind-blowing. Oh, how can you not love Patti Smith? That's all you need to know. and I thought, okay, I want to write one song with the first line that is almost as powerful. And this was my attempt. No, you don't really love her. You just love the idea of her. So this is my take, my attempt.
Nice. That's cool.
Yeah, your work's always inspired or engages with like novels, literature, and films. And this work of yours that really struck me was I Marshmallow You.
Oh yeah.
Do you always draw inspiration from books, novels, and philosophy?
Yeah. I guess that's why I'm a. I don't know if I can say this. Lei Dei Lan. I'm very Lei Dei. Everything I love is something people find very not down to earth, and I love I do love literature. I love music, and I love reading, and these people will see it as Lei Dei. Then yeah, I'm super Lei Dei. Yeah, and so yes, a lot of my songs, obviously, I have my own like personal, private. Emotions in the songs, but maybe the spark a lot of times, if not from my own like troubled emotions, then it's probably inspired by some cultural references. Yeah.
Do you want to choose one more of your songs to talk about before we jump into Brandon's? I think you also picked If Only, and
If
When
Only.
You Leave You Behind. Which one do you want to talk about?
Maybe If Only, because it's related to the song. It's from the same album. Well, no, same EP. Just only a few songs in this. Shall we listen to it, or
Do you want us to listen to it first before you say something about it?
Yeah.
Sure. I think we do have an excerpt of If Only. Let's play it.
Nice.
Thank you, Brendan. Thank you. It's really painful, actually.
Was this like from a personal thing, or is it just?
Often, always. And I thought, if I felt like this, I'm sure I'm not the only one. I mean, we all make wrong decisions all the time, and that's why it's related to the previous song. I mean, when I write, obviously I have a period of emotions, and usually one song is not enough to get rid of my emotions. So I write several songs or a series of them, and this is another one. It's very similar to the last song, but this one is from a more personal perspective. So it's I. If only I something. If only I. And like how Brandon was talking about how songs could be would be more effective when it's more repetitive. This song does that, and also like Beatles and a lot of my heroes, I repeat the name of the song, but maybe not always in the chorus, because Beatles does it often. It's in the chorus, right? But in this song, If Only is not the catchphrase in the chorus.
It's like it's in the verse, like the start of the verses,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. So every beginning of the verse, if only something, if only something. But yeah. So it's what if kind of situation. I think the magic what if is really a powerful starter for any stories. If you want to write a story, and to me this is a story. It's not the most. It's not like the typical dramatic ups and downs kind of 3-act play, but it's a kind of narrative, a loose narrative, and a lot of situations, like the sliding doors. Yeah.
How was the creative process like behind this song? Did the phrase "if only" hits you, and then you decided it would be a good fit with this song, or did you have the message first and then you try to figure out a way to put it? How did it come to life from scratch?
I think that the first moment was, I know I want to write a song called "If Only," and then I thought, okay, I want to repeat this "if only" at the beginning, because I know from the start that I want every verse to start with "if only," and in this particular case, it's similar to Cantonese, how the words have notes. If only, if only you can. Of course, you can read it like "if only," da da da, but you can also "if only." So sometimes I will play around with the possible tones of the words. If only, if only, if only. Okay, still sounds good. So I would come up with like several variations, and I see which sounds better, and then I start building on top of this. Da da da. If only we live closer. If only I had time. Da 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 da. So it becomes it kicks off the song. The notes. Da 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 da. Yeah.
Right. If only sounds like the beginning of something, but if only sounds like the end of the world, I think.
Yeah.
Right. The feeling of it. How did you feel, Brandon, listening to both songs by Jing?
Feel emo now.
I'm sorry.
It reminds me of my time when I died. No. I mean, obviously, I think it's just let's go back to lyric writing. I think that you got some really strong lyric. And the way it's structured, you're playing around the structures a lot. Sometimes I think in pop song, the structure is always the same. It's like intro, then verse, and then chorus, and then verse, and but I think when you're playing, you could actually break away from that and try be creative with the lyrics, the way it's structured, the way you're, he's used "if only" the title of the song throughout the music in this one, right? So it's not just in the chorus. It's kind of like putting the feeling and the message throughout the music. So yeah. Not to critique your
No.
your
I mean,
lyric,
it's
but
good to hear any feedback.
so, and obviously when you sing, your voice cuts through with you were saying the melody lines and acoustic guitar. If you play acoustic guitar at home, man, you'll feel emo. Just playing it at home is very. If you want to get into this kind of emo mode,
True.
Acoustic guitar is very nice. I do it a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a kind of guilty pleasure, I guess.
We all love that vibe, right? Why don't we jump into your choices too? You
All
have
right.
3 over here.
Yeah.
Perfect with 24 Herbs,
Yeah.
Something to No One, Site Access, and Angels Sing under
Okay.
your own name.
So, which one you guys want to hear? Do you want to hear
All
hip
of
hop
them.
one or emos ones? Two are emo and one is hip hop. So,
Vote.
all right, emo, raise your hand. Okay, rap, raise your hand. Oh, that's kind of equal. Okay,
Let's do both.
How about one rap and one emo song?
Sure.
Okay.
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 So, do you want to do emo song? I guess first.
Which
So-
one's the emo one?
They're 2 emo songs, but
Okay.
let's just do Angel Sings because this is the most recent one.
Sure.
Yeah. Do
Let's
you want to hear
listen
it
to
first?
it first.
Yeah.
Wow. Playing the song, I feel like the lights have dimmed a little, right? The
Yeah.
whole room has changed.
I've
You
never
could-
seen this side of you.
Yeah, this is I started kind of with acoustic, but I just was in bands and never had the chance to put it all into an album. So this was I had the time and I So it's like, let's just do it now. So I did a whole album. So yeah, just dim down the lights at home. You could put on the album and just
Yeah, so chill.
get emo.
Very relaxed.
Yeah. So
What made you want to write this song, Angels Sing?
actually, like I've always I'm kind of like a spiritual person too. So I always thought when I was a kid that I'd have these angels like around me and stuff. And then as I get older, I think a lot of our icons, our heroes, pass away. So I mean, this song kind of deals with life, actually. Like the changing of life, and how, about. I guess it's sometimes about death, and it's about life. So what we heard was, walk outside into the energy, smell the flowers, feel the breeze. I mean, I just using simple like words, sensation, to just give, so that you can have a picture in your mind.
It's very spiritual, almost, yeah.
Yeah, and then the bridge part, are we holding on? Are we letting go? And then of all the sorrows in your soul, because I think as human, there's a lot of stuff that we have to clear out and stuff. So, I mean, for me, let's just talk about maybe I was born with like a little bit bluesy or a little bit like melancholy inside, So this was kind of like a release of stuff, like just a question, like sometimes we want to hold on to all that, melancholy, that darkness, because that's all we know. But then maybe you can also let that go, And
Do you feel like you're speaking to someone specifically when you're writing this?
So yeah, but sometimes there's some people that come into my mind when I walk this, and I mean it's kind of like, it's not. I don't think it's sad. Like it's touching. It's kind of touching, but all of the songs in my album, I don't make them like sad or depressing, but I let you touch into, like I just go into a deeper, but it's still kind of positive. Like
it is. It's a miracle when we recognize that.
Yeah.
Things
Okay.
change,
Yeah. All the things change. It's a miracle when you. So
very positive.
when you really, in life, when you realize that nothing is secure, everything's always changing, then you're kind of blessed because you got that awareness suddenly. Oh, everything's changing. Then everything's all good. And when you realize that, it's like, So there's a lot of little things here. Like, I guess in the beginning, and the clouds came and the sun set. Don't want to say goodbye. I guess I'm talking about life, right? Like, when you see your life coming towards an end, but you don't want to go yet, right? So it's kind of like that. And then there was gold here. It was a landslide, just a sign of times. It means like, in life had so much treasures inside it, right? That it was so much treasure, so abundant that, it was like a landslide, like it just came down. And, that was just as your life kind of thing. I mean, this is how, but people could interpret it how they like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like how it's not very structured like a normal pop song. It's you don't have those kind of like really strong hooks. You don't have not like an anthem that you can chant along.
Yeah.
But you created this song with so much air and space.
Yeah.
For people to just dwell in and imagine and
just have open. Like I always thought that like I always wanted an album like after you go out partying for the weekend and you come back home, you don't want to listen to that banging music all night, and it's just like, oh.
So it's Sunday afternoon, you just woke up
you
with a bit of a headache.
Yeah, you want to come down album. Like when I was in school, some come down albums that I listened to, like like Mazzy. There was this group called Mazzy Star.
I love Mazzy Star.
There was some sort of emo bands back then, like like My Bloody Valentine.
Oh yeah.
All this shoegazing stuff. So for
Good
this
choice.
album, I was really inspired by all the shoegazing stuff, like Cigarettes After Sex, like Lana Del Rey, like.
Hence the heavy reverb.
Yeah, all this heavy reverb chorus.
Yeah.
It's trying to get a vibe. I was trying to go for like a vibe, get a vibe into it, yeah. Yeah.
Sure. I love listening to musicians, like when they tell me which song to listen when, like what's for 3 a.m., what's for a Monday morning on commute, right? Let's give the rap a go now.
Okay, sure.
What's the name of the song?
Perfect.
Perfect by 24 Herbs.
Yeah, so let me just tell you guys that in 24 Herbs, there's 6 of us, and there's 5 people who rap. So sometimes our writing process would be like, I would come up with a beat, or there's another beat producer, and we'd show the guys, and if people are interested to write, they can write. So in hip hop, it's more like the rapper writes his own lyrics, represent himself inside the song. So we might not be connected in the whatever, but everybody has the freedom to write whatever they want. Yeah.
Clockwork Orange.
Yeah.
Cool.
Thank you. Yeah.
That's so cool.
This was like I think it was 2010 when we wrote this album, but obviously rap lyrics, they take you have like 16 bars, you have like 32 bars, but it's filled with words, and it's filled with rhyme schemes, so when you're doing hip hop, it's different from writing like songs, right? It's like songs more like poetry maybe, right? But this, when you're doing hip hop, is like rhyme scheme, like how do the words connect, and it's actually quite creative if you can go into it, like how you could rhyme the first word, you could rhyme the third word, you could rhyme the last words, you could rhyme the whole sentence, like so.
Yeah, can you say a little bit more about that, the technical side of things? What did you do with Perfect, like the rhyme scheme of it, or what kind of stuff you played with in the song?
Yeah, so actually, when I write, I usually like just listen to the beat a lot, and then I'll just sort of free flow, like da 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 da, and then sometimes words would come out, and then I write down those words that pop out when I'm just sort of free flowing it, and then slowly as then from the so it's like perfect. I call this song perfect because life is just like perfect. Like I was just saying like that, and then so I got a message from the universe to say, yo man, you need a verse, right? So it's like it's just a play on the universe. So it's like a verse, right? And then to teach or preach, but not reach your peeps on earth. Let them all know before it all inverts, right? So all inverts, like from living to the dead, like just killed the earth, gone, so. But yeah, so in rap for 24, we're kind of all positive people. So all my raps, I try to keep the positive vibe, and also I find like through lyrics and lyric writing, you could actually manifest stuff in your life, because if it's coming from you inside, like you're writing something that's very truthful and honest about yourself. So if you keep doing that, you could actually, lot of these lyrics have come true, you know what I mean? Like, so
wow.
So that's why for the new album, that's why, because of the new album, I'm very careful not to write anything negative. Like, I make sure I leave a good record, because some of my earlier albums, was filled with like anger, filled with like all this stuff, like not with 24, but like when I was in my high school bands and stuff like that, and I realized that like, oh man, like these things, why is my life like so so hard and difficult and all this stuff? And then I realized that, oh, maybe, yeah, you got to be, like for me, because I'm writing this and I'm representing it myself. So as an artist, like I'd rather write lyrics that are positive and won't affect me too much, or affect me in a positive way. But if I'm like a commercial artist, then you could write whatever. And to your point is like, when you write from a third perspective, now I tend to write from a third perspective as well. Because I think when you...
Is it age?
Yeah, no. Age and wisdom,
Yeah,
okay?
Yeah, that's better.
Because like, when you write I mean, you're basically saying that's you. So I would I just kind of keep it very vague, like, and just describe the vibe, so I don't attract that to myself. Like, yeah.
Yeah, the ambiguity of it, right? You're truly very spiritual, like the law of attraction, not to jinx anything with your songs.
No, I don't believe in jinx, which is like, yeah.
Sure.
But yeah, because there was a point where I guess, I mean, this is going off topic, but like there's just a point in my life where suddenly I came across like a lot of information and then kind of opened my mind to a positive way. Like before I was kind of like, you know, like a punk kid, like, you know, rebel, punk, you know, destructive and whatever. And then when my mind kind of opened up, because I was a stubborn head, then like, oh, suddenly I realized, and through lyrics, you know, because there's a lot of listeners, you know, you don't want to, like for me anyway, I don't try to give them negative stuff as well.
Yeah. Now that we've listened to some of your work, I think we'd also be very interested in hearing about inspiration. Like in general, how do you record your thoughts or inspiration? I remember at the very beginning, Brandon mentions something about having this notebook, you know, the traditional notebook and a pen. Is that what you do? Do you record it on an iPhone? How's the sort of inspiration comes from? Maybe Jing?
Yeah, I have many notebooks for different thoughts. Some of them are for ideas for songs. It could be just a catchphrase that I thought, oh, this would sound cool in a chorus. I just write that down. And then there might be another notebook, maybe just writing down like these chords that sound good together. Or a chord that I found, wow, I never tried this, I don't know what it is, but it sounds really good, so I mark it down. Or like some notebooks on games and performances, and so I've got many notebooks at the same time recording different things. And sometimes, because of this notebook, actually, it's related, and then they will kind of help each other out.
So it's the fragments you have from different notebooks and you sort of piece them together or find inspiration from them.
Yeah.
How about you, Brandon?
Yeah, I have like a few, well, in the beginning I have like a rhyme book, a rap book, lyric book. But now I just like whatever's at home, I just scramble for a pen, grab any type of paper, and then I just put these papers like in a corner or a box, so that I have them. Or, you know, I use my iPhone on the voice memo. So I just like record, like if I'm just like sleeping, like what just rap into my phone, and then tomorrow I'll listen to it or another time.
So you actually have a rhyme book?
I kind of, well, now I have just like a scrapbook. So actually anything goes in that scrapbook. Before I have like loads of stuff, but now I was like, keep it simple. I just have a scrapbook and whatever.
But I'm really curious, when you're learning the trade as a rapper, like do you write down everything you can think of that rhymes and collect them?
No, I mean, I used to have, like when I started, I did have a rhyme book where I had just put all my thoughts, put all the rhymes, practice stuff inside. And then, yeah. But I find like, because when I'm recording it, I could picture my paper and I just read off from my mind.
Oh my God.
So
wow.
No, I mean, I don't know if I have that ability now because, you know, I because of like internet and stuff like that. But before, when you go to a studio, right, they ask you to just kind of like, you know, hit it.
Free flow?
Or I just have them. I just can see my lyrics in my head.
Oh wow!
Yeah, back then. So
wow.
But now I don't really do that.
Like Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah. Yeah. But then I just do one book now, and also like I'm into art now. So that book will also have like art in it, and it'll have like, you know, words. It'll have numbers. It'll have whatever's happening in my life. I just put it in one book, and then I just, whenever I need it, I just go through it. Yeah.
I would have loved to see that notebook, and I love the idea of the rhyme book. I would have bought it from a bookstore. Like it's
actually,
cute.
I think you imagine it
I'm
very nicer than
romanticizing
it
it.
actually is, because it's like it's just like a
Trashy
book,
notebook.
and my handwriting's not
supermarket
nice at all.
receipts
No,
and
my
all that.
handwriting's not nice at all. It's
Yeah.
like,
I did try to do something like that for Cantonese lyrics, though, because I find Cantonese lyrics so much harder to rhyme. So I actually kind of have a notation system around a notebook, and this vowel, okay, here, these are the words that I try to make it very organized, because I'm so slow at Cantonese words, and my vocabulary, it's okay, not super limited, but also not enough. So I always, this song has these two rhyme, okay. And then I write and scribble and collect. And so when I write Cantonese lyrics, I do have this kind of rhyme book to help myself.
oh, actually, like there's a cheat. I'll give you the cheat codes. Is that now with the technology, you just go to like rap dictionary, or like rhymelyrics.com or something, and then like you just pick a word or a title, and then you see the words that fit, and then
Yeah, English they have these, but
Yeah.
Chinese,
Yeah,
I'm
maybe
waiting for
Chinese.
a Cantonese version of that.
yeah, English lyrics you could find. I mean, I never did it until my friend, like, he just bombarded me with it. He just threw like, here's a bunch of words that rhyme with the word that you're looking for. I was like, where'd you get that? He's like, duh. It's like it's on the net. I'm like, what? Like, so I guess it's cheat codes. You could do that, but I mean, obviously, you have to put it in a sort of order, or you want an expression that.
Because actually, rhyming is kind of the least important thing. Because if it works, of course it's good. But I mean, what you want to say and how you
the
put
message,
it together.
the messages. So I think lyrics you can start like if you have a line like you're saying, like there's a line that just sticks in your head all the time and it's just like repeating in your head. You're like, okay, write that down, and then maybe from that line you can jump to the next lines and start writing a song and lyrics. So inspiration just comes from anywhere actually, but you got to listen. Like if you hear something in your head or you see something, you just put it down straight away, and then it's there, so then you can work off it later. Yeah.
Those are some wonderful tips, but I guess I'm just romanticizing the look of it, like the room of a musician, right?
Mine's
Fancy
like
notebooks.
mine's like a Muji, like scrapbook
Exactly.
thing.
When you can just Google
Muji
it.
is good.
Oh no, I'm not knocking Muji. Muji's like, I love Muji.
Yeah, me
Muji, holla, yeah.
Yeah. If one day we do some sort of exhibition with the Hong Kong musicians' notebooks, I think I would be intrigued to see what you all have on your little notebooks. But maybe one or two more questions before we open it to the floor for the audience to ask some questions. I guess maybe some of us might not be capable of writing the melodies, so some of us are only interested in lyrics writing. For example, drawing from existing melodies of pop songs. What kind of advice would you give to this kind of lyricists?
I think it's the same, exactly the same.
Mm.
I mean, you don't have to be the person who wrote the melody, but the process is the same. You probably still have to feel for a certain topic, and there's something you care about that you want to write about, and then I think it's exactly the same, actually.
Yes, I mean, if you're a lyricist, but obviously if you're a lyricist, that means you should be listening to a lot of music, right? And I think that's one of the really things, like you listen to a lot of variety of music, like from the 60s, I guess, until now, and just listen to a lot of artists, see who's making the music. You could maybe even look at the credits and see if you could find the songwriters. Like you could do your research, get into it, and from that you could probably find. And then also when you're reading lyrics, you will see how they're structured, and then maybe you can try to write your own verse. Like actually for Hallelujah, I just look at the song structure and then I make my fifth verse. I just write another verse.
I
on
want to
top of it.
listen to that.
But unfortunately, I forgot it. Yeah, I don't have that photographic memory no more. But that's one way. Like if you have your favorite song, why don't you try to write the third verse in the song? So that would be yours.
That's a good one.
It's just a fun kind of thing to do. Like you can try that, and like because when the verse in a pop song, they got the melody line already, you know, da 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 da, right? So then you write the third verse, da 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 da, you know, and you could talk about I or you, you know, start there, or like, you know, and just
That's a great tip. One final question from me. I think when we were chit-chatting, I also was curious, like, who are some of the singer-songwriters or rappers you admire yourself? You want to share one or two of them?
I can start. If you,
Jing?
Yeah. Well, locally, because the question is about local singer-songwriters, right? So one of my favorites is an older, more senior singer-songwriter, Lou Guanting. Do you guys know Lou Guanting? 一生所愛. Do you guys know the song? Amazing, amazing. I think if Hong Kong has a Leonard Cohen, or if you want to call it Hong Kong Leonard Cohen, I think it's Lou Guanting. And Lou Guanting's Alleluia is 一生所愛. That's how I see it. I mean, wow. I mean, the level of emotion that comes through the song. 西遊記, have you guys seen that particular scene where the song comes out? I was like crying. Oh my God. It's a comedy. Why am I crying? But it's so sad. That movie is so sad. And the song was so powerful. It kind of, like, for me, the song really lifted the movie to a very, like, from just a comedy to, wow. Epic. Well, so
One
that's
more?
one. And the other one is My Little Airport, 嘅阿 P 咯. 阿 P is 鬼才. I mean, he's so talented. Actually,阿 P's idol is Leonard Cohen. He loves Leonard Cohen. And the way he approaches lyrics, although it's very funny, it's always very poetic. And despite being poetic, it's always very keep day. Something I cannot do, and I respect that. I love that part of him. I mean, his music is always so local, so Hong Kong, and funny, yet poetic. Yeah.
And you?
Let me see. Yeah, I couldn't really, because I can't judge, like, in the Cantonese what's kind of good and what isn't. Like, you know what I mean? I mean, it sounds good. Like, a lot of the songs sound good, but I wouldn't be able to say what the lyrics are really about. So I couldn't really comment. But I mean, I guess, like, Sam Hui, I don't know. Yeah. I could understand what he's saying, you know? Like, because his lyrics are very, you know, straightforward. And there's nothing complicated about it, but he get the message across. And, you know, it's, I don't know, it's just fun, classic type of stuff.
And I guess it's also harder for us to define like Hong Kong singer-songwriters, because in Hong Kong a lot of the songwriters, they write the song, but a lot of them find someone to help them write the lyrics. Yeah. So it's very different from the habit anywhere else because of the language. True. The difficulty of Cantonese.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's a good starting point, right, to first figure out the kind of music, the genre you enjoy, your favorite artists, and then maybe come up with one or two fragments of thoughts from your notebooks or all that as a starting point for writing lyrics. Should we open the floor to the students now? If anyone has questions, you could raise your hand, maybe briefly introduce yourself and then ask the question.
Everyone, I'm Cecilia Cheng Swan from BA. I'm now year 1 studying global creative industry, and I'm currently a singer-songwriter too. So I was curious about like how you turn your habits into a professional job, and I feel like it's very important to like commercialize art and well to be yourself at the same time. So yeah, I want to know how you guys compromise this and to make it very professional and shiny. Thank you.
Yo. That's a good question.
Yeah, I want to know how to do that too.
Yeah, I want to know how to do that too.
Can you tell me?
I think we need a good like PR manager and like someone who can sell our music. Like,
and I think the new generation probably knows it better because the social media is kind of your generation's kind of thing, and for us, it's we're trying to catch up. For me, at least, I mean,
like relearn some stuff.
Yeah, we have to. Okay, for example, our Instagram, we need to be at least over 10,000, or else the PR might kind of give you some like hard time. saying, "Oh, it's hard to tell a boss you're okay because you don't have enough fans to support," something like that.
Well, I think like, you know, is step by step. You know, you mentioned like what habits can you have as a singer-songwriter to get into the commercial industry, right? Is that what you said, Celine? I think something like that, right? And then I think it's just, firstly, you have to work on the craft part. You know, I think they're two separate things where it's like you have to daily, just write, like I said, like that's what, just do it every day or regularly. Doesn't have to be every day, but just on a regular basis. You continue improving on the lyrics and trying new lyrics and stuff. And then for the commercial side, you could probably, you know, like maybe enter more contests or talk to, you know, maybe go to a publisher, like some publishers, they'll have more information because they're always looking for songwriters. They're always looking for music and songwriting, you know, and so that's how you can I guess that's the path to commercial. Maybe Chi Chong knows more about the publishing side. You could maybe add, but
I think this industry has numerous ways, or you can find your own way, more like, because everyone's path is totally different. And I can share my story. Before I started really like stepping into the music scene, I already wrote around 30 songs. Although some of them I'm not completely satisfied, but I do have 30 songs written under my belt. And that was my kind of practice and training and whatever. And then I started doing busking. That was like 15 years ago. So I started busking 15 years ago. And then that was my training ground. I want to test my songs. Sometimes my song is not complete, then I just repeat the verse. or sometimes I just try to force myself to improvise something, or just na something. Well, like the na or whatever. And then, that actually works. Let me just put that into the song. And it doesn't matter because a lot of people are not really listening anyway. And sometimes they listen, then, plus. But you can use that as a training ground or a songwriting process, the performance. Well, I mean, I do that. And if you want an opportunity, in my case, I just went to my idol. I mean, for example, my idol was Wang Yuming. I mean, it's still my idol, Wang Yuming. And because I was doing fashion at that time, and from a photo shoot, I get to overhear the photographer saying that he's going to do a photo shoot with Wang Yuming that same evening. So I thought, can I come? And he said, I don't care. Whatever, come. And then I just went home and took my guitar, and but their photo shoot was somewhere in a cold district. I mean, not in the city. And I just went there, and I was standing there for 4 hours with my guitar, and really cold. It just got into winter, and I was just wearing a t-shirt. But then, obviously, a random guy standing in the middle of a shoot, playing his song. I was playing 今夜星光燦爛 when they were doing a photo shoot. And I was trying to catch his attention, obviously, but trying also not to interrupt the photo shoot. But eventually he noticed me, and he came over. And so I did what a fan would do. I did the photograph, and then I still stayed. And he's actually, we're working. What do you want? And I said, can you give me 3 minutes? I want to sing you a song I wrote. And then he's okay. So he gave me 3 minutes. And after that, he signed me to People Mountain, People Sea. So there is no one way. I don't think everyone will. I don't think this works for everyone. But I mean, if you know, if you have an opportunity, if you hear of something, if you have a specific target, then go for it. Sometimes it'll work.
Yeah, I think like 好大膽啊你
Yeah.
That's a good story, man. Damn. But I was just saying, like, if you're a singer-songwriter, like if you're an artist as well, then yeah, you could, you have to go for your opportunities when you see it. But I think if you're just a lyricist, maybe you have a friend who plays music, you know, and then you can ask them, hey, I got some lyrics, you have some music, you know what I mean? And you guys kind of exchange, like you give him the lyrics and he tries to put it into the music. And maybe that's where you guys start, you know, like by helping like you see your friend's band or you see your friend thing, you know, and usually they don't have lyrics. Like, you know, a lot of people, the bands don't have lyrics, they just have music. So if you have those friends, you're like, yo, I write lyrics, you know, and you can just kind of start from there, you know, and just see how it goes and pick it up as well. Or go to your idol and rock it out.
Any other questions?
Hi, my name is Katie. I'm a second year in the social sciences faculty. Kind of like Cecilia, I'm also a singer-songwriter. And
Nice.
as a creative, as somebody who creates a lot, you have like times where you kind of hit a wall, right? And like sometimes you try to force it and you force it, you just can't do anything. What do you usually do to like take a break from your craft? Because there are days where you just can't get anything on the paper. So how do you kind of refresh yourself to feel like you can get back into creating?
I guess, for sure you're gonna hit some walls and create it. I think first don't be hard on yourself. Like don't say, oh God, like today Canada sucks, and you're going down this rabbit hole and you feel bad. Yeah. I think just leave it. Like today, just take a break, or do something outside. Like do some other stuff. Like I don't know, you could do other things that you like to do. Just take a break from it, and then the next day try to go back to it and slowly inch your way back. Or let's say you're stuck on a problem, like you're stuck on a lyric. Sometimes you'll have another song, like, okay, I'm going to put this down. I'm going to work on this song instead. And then sometimes when you're working on this song, suddenly, you get some inspiration to finish up that song. So everything kind of works, but I think the most important is just don't be hard on yourself. Just let the block unblock itself, like there's nothing you can do to force it if it's not there, I think.
Totally agree. You have to do something else completely. Don't try to dwell on it, and don't try to crack it if you cannot. Sometimes I was writing another song, and then it actually became the chorus for the same song. Eventually, yeah, it did happen before. And when I write, I use different music instruments because it's easy to have your own habits. And then it will sound samey, similar. But if you change the instrument, suddenly when you're writing with a piano, how come I never thought of that melody? Because of the habits, new habits, and then you will find a new way of writing, and sometimes find something that you're unfamiliar with, like by a banjo, by a totally different instrument. The tuning is totally different. So when you don't know what the chord shapes are. Perfect. And then you just come up with, these three notes sound weird. And then it's cool sometimes. And then it will totally change the way you write songs and melodies.
What do you have a genre of music you guys play, or?
Okay. I kind of like go back and forth between either like very dreamy, kind of like what you're saying, like bedroom pop type stuff,
yeah.
Or then the angst fully kicks in and it goes like full punk, kind of
punk
very aggressively heavy.
Nice. I want to see that.
Nice. How about Cecilia? Cecilia, sorry.
Hello. I usually do R&B, jazz, and Disney feel. I really love Disney, so I try to write dreamy, yes, like Disney.
Oh, wow.
Guilty pleasure.
Love it.
Cool.
Do we have other singer-songwriters in the room? Aspiring ones? Don't be shy. Yeah, rappers.
Any band people? Anyone play a band here? Oh, you play band.
Quite a few.
Yeah, so they could help you write lyrics.
Collaborate.
Collaborate, yeah. I think sometimes collaboration is really great because often like maybe maybe a bit introverted like myself, so it's like sometimes I don't like to go out and collaborate, but then I find that sometimes the best things that happen to me have been with like working with other people. So sometimes it's good to just see what you guys could come up with. Sometimes there's nothing comes up, but sometimes something sometimes you get it. Yeah.
Speaking of being an introvert, I wonder, like for the drafts of your song, do you enjoy sharing it with a few close friends, or would you rather, I'm a perfectionist, I have to finish the whole thing until I actually release it?
Yeah, I usually don't ask for comment. I just release it, because I think
Safe space.
yeah, and also like when you ask people for comments, sometimes it depends what. Like if I know this person will have some sort of constructive thing that I'm looking for, then I would ask. But if it's just kind of like my friends who I drink with or whatever, like, hey guys, listen to my new song, they'll be like, oh, it's very nice. It's like okay.
That's useless.
It's like
That's
thanks. And then that's like,
I won't do that.
Okay, all right.
Send it to me. I want to try. I want to see what you see what you write. Yeah.
Yeah.
I totally do it in a different way. I mean, I don't show what I write to other people in that way, but I always test my songs. As I was saying, well, I mean, when I was younger especially, I mean, I like to sing my songs raw, and sometimes after singing it several times, I will change lyrics myself. I like, because I want a song to sound good on the lips. I mean, when I sing, I want it to come out smooth. So when I was writing, sometimes I try too hard to make it like a poem. So I use harder words and, oh, no, I shouldn't use. But after singing several times, I will change the words. Okay, this is more direct. And then it helps me improve the song from forcing people to listen to it. Or just, keep on doing it.
Yeah, it's true. Like sometimes when you write it on paper, it looks perfect on paper. Like, oh, this fits. But when you put it to the music, it's like, it doesn't fit at all. And it just becomes, so you have to be ready to, change it, like, or scrap the whole thing. Like sometimes, oh, this is beautiful, but it doesn't work for this song. I have to like, put it aside or scrap it or change the words. But that means like I have to be like more open-minded to these type of things. You know what I mean? And like not so stuck on what I want to do with. Yeah.
Questions on the first row?
So hello, I'm Clive. I'm doing a PhD in education. I would like to ask Brandon first, because from your lyrics, I can see there's lots of inspiration from spiritual aspects. So do you have a particular like spiritual practice, and how, if so, how's that practice like influence your creative process?
Yeah, I think I do Chinese philosophy in Chinese philosophy. So that's happened, the past like 7 years, maybe 6 years. It's influenced me a lot. But before I found that, I was also spiritual in the sense that like I knew that there's something outside, that this invisible world that we don't see. And I think doing art and music, we're connected to these type of things. Like, where does inspiration come from? Where does creativity? It's just kind of like, it sounds, I don't want to sound hokey or whatever, but it's like, before it was like maybe a channeling, like, or something. Like, you're open to observe and try to see, just basically express what you're seeing or express what you're feeling. So I think that's why that's why I enjoy music a lot, because it helps me make that connection, Yeah.
Thank you. And I also have a question for James. Really thanks, for your songs. Actually, they comfort me a lot, when I was down. And I would like to ask you, because when I listen to your songs, I can actually see, kind of like a theater, a drama, There's a scene, there's a story behind. So and that's, I think that's very unique, So, and how will you continue to like get such kind of inspiration to bring into your creative process? Yeah, because you mentioned that you didn't like face lots of tragedy, and I believe you won't face too much, in future as well. And the songs all usually come from your personal stories, right? Yeah. So how will you continue to explore? Yeah.
I guess it just happens to every one of us as we grow older. I mean, it doesn't have to be big tragedies, and sometimes I guess the creative type is usually more emo, and we blow up things, or we can choose to blow up things and dramatize like small moments, or maybe it was something, but then I can make it into something epic, or I use it to I try to transcend a small thing into a bigger thing so that it could relate to more people sometimes. Maybe the root of the song was personal, but eventually it's not about my personal experience anymore. It became something more, and I try to think from other people's perspective. Whereas when I first started writing songs, it was very me. I feel something. But slowly it changed, and I feel that the songs are better that way. Yeah. And when I started to think that way, the songs are not so. I don't need to find inspirations as hard, maybe, because there's so much to write about in the world. Instead of, okay, what happened to me recently? I mean, I don't need. I don't need another friend to pass away, or I don't need a lost love to write a song anymore. I mean, I can write about much bigger topics, but from a relatively personal approach. I don't know if that makes sense.
Looking forward to your next Frita performance.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, I'm So-Yan from Expressive Therapy. So it might be weird to ask those questions because we do use us to help people, and then because some of our we call like clients, they especially for those secondary kids, they will say like, oh, I can rap, but they won't say, oh, I can write a song. But it's quite because. We don't see a lot of people familiar with lyrics and writings to help, and then that's why we are very curious what it could help, like those writing lyrics and also write as a song, and then we put them into therapy. So I know it's not a very good question to ask because this is a very creative lyrics, but I'm also interested to know. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, did you say their clients come and they say we could rap, but they don't write lyrics, right? Yeah, but I mean, it's fine. I think that's the start. Whatever format they want, you should just let them go with it. If they want to rap, then just let them rap. If they want to write lyrics, then you can let them write lyrics. I think when I was a teenager as well, what I did, I listened to a lot of rap music. So then I would just write my own raps, and then I wouldn't show them to my parents because they'd be like, this is really how you feel? Oh my gosh. And then, I get in big trouble and stuff. So, but I think lyric writing, I mean, even raps I would consider it as lyric writing because you're writing to a piece of music.
Of course. Yeah.
So, I mean, it's just the way to expressing themselves. So if your clients or the people that come, they can use lyrics to just write out what they're feeling inside, you know, and I think that's a great way to, just self-therapy, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Actually, I'm still trying to understand your question. so you're saying, is there a way to help your clients write their own song?
We have different art modalities, and then actually the list, like our classmates, they can't really do like those writings. But sometimes like we do like groups with maybe secondary school children, and we call kids, and then maybe they will say like everybody can rap, and then they just start to like do something like random, and then I'm quite curious if it's like because we don't have much people like doing like kind of lyrics into the art therapy, and then we do like visual arts and music and also maybe drama, and then because I bring this question from our classmates, and then they're quite like interesting if like kind of rapping or lyrics writing could be like into our program or our like professions, because not much people doing that, and then but we are quite like maybe imagination, or if it's like starting, if we could put those like new stuff, because young people love like new stuff, and then we would like to see if it's good to like engage them through this, like
I think that's engage them.
Great idea, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty positive. I mean, you should, if the kids, like if that's the kids, the way they express themselves, I think it's just the way it is, and then you just give them the outlet, give them the space to do that. I think that'd be great. Yeah. And
you don't have to start off suddenly become a singer-songwriter immediately. I mean, you can just, as we were mentioning earlier, you can just write lyrics to a song that you like, or a song that the kid likes. Then ask him or her to write their own lyrics to a song they like, and that's a good practice. And eventually they will be able to come up with their own stuff. Yeah.
And, well, I mean, as well, like when you're in the secondary school, the kids, they have their favorite song, so you could just tell them to just perform it, even. Doesn't even have to come up with any rhymes.
Yeah, that's true.
Once you start, like when we started, like let's say rapping or singing, we sang the Beatles songs. We rapped those songs. Too. Like, that's when you started. Like, you heard it on the radio and you just started singing. And then it's like, one day you're like, oh, I like singing. And then slowly, maybe that turns into you will write your own songs one day. But in the meantime, you're just kind of, singing other people's songs or rapping other people's songs.
Even just singing or rapping other people's songs is a process of healing, because the lyrics of the songs probably resonate with them, and someone feels the same way, and then you can use it to express your own feelings as well. And I think, singing something that you like immediately helps you already.
So maybe, so one of those classes, you just perform your favorite songs. Yeah. And I think they'd be quite happy about that, like if they couldn't write, because maybe some of them can't write, but they want to, but then just say, then just sing your song,
yeah.
Like, or perform it the way you want to perform it. That could be good.
Any other questions? I do have one, actually, if they don't. A bit of a cliche, maybe, but I wonder, like at this point, what are some of the themes you're most concerned about, like for your future musical endeavors? What do you have in mind right now if you were to continue making music?
I'm gonna make two. Like I made one. I'm gonna make two.
Two is the name of the song.
The name of the next album.
Two. Okay, cool. Nice.
I mean that it's just an organic process, because I just recently got back. My friend gave me his guitar, his electric guitar. So now I'm gonna use more like effects and
cool.
just experiment, do stuff like that. And then I don't know. I mean, it's just open, really. Because music, I understand, for me, like music is in kind of something that I always do. So now I've kind of accepted that it's in my life. whatever format it is, like whether it's writing songs, whether it's making beats, whether it's performing, whether it's, you know, helping people out with music or whatever. I mean, it's just something that I can do and that I like to do. So whatever format that is, I can, you know, do that.
Sure.
And I think I'm going to focus more on storytelling, but maybe not so much through music in the coming 2 years, because that's part of my PhD research and also the proposal funding that I got, so I have to complete it. So that's my deadline. So it's game theater, but that's also something I'm really passionate about. And to me, it's the same thing. I mean, just a different platform. And I always like have these cross-media, like transmedia platforms to tell my stories anyway. The last show I did had tap dancing and original like kind of objects turned into like musical instruments, kind of music theater, physical music theater kind of thing. So that's kind of like a jumbling everything together, and I think that the next one will not exactly be like that, but probably I will have live music in the show as well, in the interactive storytelling kind of game theater thing.
We look forward to all of your future projects. Let's thank the two speakers once again.